Ladies and gents, welcome back. There are many things to discuss about Canada right now, and the Liberal Party seems to not want to discuss any of those, instead rehashing old subjects by unsolicited telling everybody on social media that they're proudly pro-choice, mildly inappropriate at a time when Canadians are struggling to make ends meet. Many families wondering if they'll be able to, with their budget, heat or eat. But, you know, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau wants to come out and discuss this. Now, he recently put this out on social media in response to the viral video that many were ridiculing him for discussing with a young man about the abortion debate.
You might have seen this video recently. It was from a conversation I had with a young man on the issue of being pro-choice.
This is the clip that is going around, by the way. Viva Fry tweeting this out. Remember, everyone, according to Justin Trudeau, abortion needs to be legal in Canada because women get, and I'm not going to say that word in this video. We're going to, for the duration of this video, call it the struggle snuggle. That'll help us get this video out there a little bit further on YouTube. But here's what he had to say.
So a woman who is raped should be able to get an abortion?
I'd say that's where it gets complicated.
No, it doesn't get complicated.
But that's
it's
like
yes or no.
That's super specific examples. Those are like
no, but it's an all too common example.
Like
right? Women get raped all the time. So,
sorry for the strategic coughing here, but that is those are the words of Justin Trudeau. Of course, him being mocked all over social media, and we'll get to that. But this is his clip talking about that particular video.
In the days following this video getting out there, I got a whole bunch of comments and suggestions from friends and supporters who said, oh, you could have said this, or you should have laid out that.
Or maybe lay it out. If you're going to make discussion with people, how about the tens of thousands of truckers that showed up to your door just last year? No, we're not going to do that, but you'll debate with a teenager on the streets in Canada. This is, forgive me if I think that this was planned.
To really make clear what your stance is. So I wanted to take a moment right now to emphasize that our government will always stand up and take action to protect access to reproductive health services. We've increased access to the abortion pill right across the country, which helps people in rural and remote areas. We're working with partners across the country to ensure better access to safe and inclusive reproductive health services, and we're holding provinces to account when they're not delivering on their obligations. In the House of Commons, in 2021, when a Conservative MP brought in legislation to restrict abortion access, Liberal MPs stepped up and voted it down. With attacks on reproductive rights around the world, it's really important that we not take things for granted, that we continue to stand up unequivocally. So let me be very clear. This government will never tell a woman what to do with her body.
Be careful when you hear somebody say, let me be very clear. It means what's coming next is going to be a lie. We're going to unequivocally stand up for the right of a woman to do what they want with their body. Have you always done that with every situation? Perhaps we just went through a pandemic where you wouldn't allow that. Ryan Garrettson putting out on Twitter here, pro-choice with the understanding that if you make the wrong one, Trudeau will punish you.
Apologize for being unequivocal that vaccines are the way through this.
Unequivocal word keeps coming up.
If you make a choice, a personal choice, to not get vaccinated, then I will have no sympathy for you when you come to me and said, oh, but I can't go out to a restaurant with my friends, or I'm not being allowed to go to the gym, or my employer is telling me I have to continue to work from home.
Unequivocal we are. And we have all seen this clip where Trudeau is showing just how pro-choice he is.
You deserve a government that's going to continue to say, get vaccinated. And you know what? If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. But don't think you can get on a plane or a train besides vaccinated people and put them at risk.
Okay. All right. Pro-choice. Mr. Pro-choice over here. Now, Ryan Williams here on Twitter saying nobody, I repeat, nobody is bringing the abortion debate up except the Liberals conveniently when we want to talk about about his failure with the strike, the housing crisis, the healthcare crisis, the mental health and opioid crisis. Violent crime is up, and much, much more. So yeah, nobody's bringing this up, but who may have possibly brought this up in the past? Well, here's one tweet. The only MP who tried to criminalize abortion was a liberal. And this is an actual fact. Now, he's talking about limitations. You know, people want to put restrictions on all kinds of things. It's called regulating a market. But no, this is a liberal, Paul Steckel, that in 2008 actually tried to make it illegal across Canada. So this isn't always just a liberal versus conservative thing at all. It's definitely a debate that's up. And it's been around for a long time, but it's not something that's actually being tabled at the moment. And here we are exactly. The last time it was tabled, it was by a liberal. Eva Chipiuk saying on Twitter, women get the struggle snuggle all the time. Of course, I'm changing the words here just for the convenience of YouTube, and his solution is abortion, not prevention, not bail reform, not mental health assistance, not spousal support assistance, not amending criminal consequences. His solution to women getting the struggle snuggle all the time is abortion. Facepalm. Absolute facepalm here. Kirk on here to that clip where Trudeau's saying that women get the struggle snuggle all the time. So what has he done, or what has the Liberals done to protect women? Why are high risk sexy time offenders being constantly released? Why are sentences so lenient? We want to actually reduce this stuff in our society, do we not? Or is this just something that is being pushed along? Now, more people just putting this out there. Here's the Justin Trudeau business card, of course, with his famous now quote on there. But here we have it. Here we have it. True North reporting Canada to supply abortion pills if the U.S. ban goes through. Now, normally, Prime Minister should be concerned about what goes on within his own borders, but he's so enthusiastic about this one that he wants to make sure that even if the United States makes this illegal, that he's going to be the supplier of this stuff from the Canadian side of things. Trudeau government is ready to supply Americans with mifepristone, the abortion pill, if the United States bans it in a Supreme Court decision expected Friday night. Now, spoiler, it didn't go through. So the U.S. Supreme Court preserves the access to the abortion pill mifepristone. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. For now, the U.S. Supreme Court on Friday preserved women's right to access a drug used in the most common method of abortion, rejecting a lower court restriction while a lawsuit continues. Justice granted the emergency request from the Biden administration and New York-based Danco Laboratories, maker of the drug mifepristone. They are appealing a lower court ruling that would roll back Food and Drug Administration FDA approval on mifepristone. The drug has been approved in the United States since 2000. Now back to the story. We have to be vigilant about protecting our reproductive rights, said Minister of Families, Children, and Social Development. I don't know how that's part of families and social development of children, but Katrina Gould, can't make up these names, in a interview with CTV News Power Play host Vasi Kapelis. We have certainly said that we would work to provide that for American women should that happen in the United States. Now, just imagine the cartels in Mexico and Central America giving the same argument. You know, we're just making sure that we're keeping a supply. We don't agree with the laws in America about some of these illicit substances being circulated and trafficked and used, but we don't agree with those laws. So we're just going to go ahead and supply those things. I don't think that argument would do too well on that front at all. But here's an interesting clip from Tucker Carlson talking about this debate itself and how it seems to be oddly immoral in the direction where they're coming from.
If you say, well, you know, I think abortion is always bad. Well, I think sometimes it's necessary. That's a debate I'm familiar with. But if you're telling me that abortion is a positive good, what are you saying? Well, you're arguing for child sacrifice, obviously. It's not about like, oh, a teen girl gets pregnant and what do we do about that? And victims of rape. I get it. Of course I understand that. And I have compassion for everyone involved. But when the Treasury Secretary stands up and says, you know what you can do to help the economy? Get an abortion. Well, that's like an Aztec principle, actually. There's not a society in history that didn't practice human sacrifice. Not one. I checked.
It's true.
Even the Scandinavians, I'm ashamed to say. It wasn't just the Mesoamericans, it was everybody. So, like, that's what that is. What's the point of child sacrifice? Well, there's no policy goal entwined with that. No, that's a theological phenomenon. And that's kind of the point I'm making. None of this makes sense in conventional political terms. When people or crowds of people, or the largest crowd of people at all, which is the federal government, the largest human organization in human history, decide that the goal is to destroy things, destruction for its own sake. Hey, let's tear it down. What you're watching is not a political movement, it's evil.
Wow, those are some strong words from Tucker Carlson here. But in my opinion, I think this whole thing is a distraction. Many Canadians want to be talking about different subjects when it comes to politics. They want to be talking about what's going on with the economy, what's happening with taxes that are going up exponentially in a time when Canadians are struggling with the rising prices of all of these things, real estate through the roof. Canadians want to be talking about this, but this is something that makes the Liberal Party and Justin Trudeau look absolutely terrible. So it's a bait and switch. It's an idea of telling people we should be talking about these other things, not about the things that really make us look bad, including the Chinese collusion into our elections as of recent. But anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think is the purpose of the Liberals bringing up this whole rehashed abortion debate, because I don't think it has anything to do with contemporary politics. I think it has everything to do with distracting you from what's really going on. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.